Stop scrolling. Let's clear something up right now. If you have ever heard someone say MS means you'll end up in a wheelchair, or that you can cure it with a special diet you found on the internet, or that it's basically a death sentence, then this is for you. We are about to spill the real tea, and trust me, it's much better than the lukewarm nonsense you've been served before. We're going to tackle the biggest, most stubborn myths about multiple sclerosis. Facts, not fear. Simple language. Nobody has time for complicated medical jargon. A little sarcasm. Sometimes you have to laugh. Not another scary midnight panic Google article. This is a conversation. For the newly diagnosed and terrified. For the friend or family who wants to help. For the coworker hawking goji berries. We'll break down what MS is, what it isn't, and why there's room for science-backed hope. 2025, not doom. Resilience, progress, full lives. Stick around. Let's get this sorted together. A simple breakdown. Alright, before we start busting myths, let's get on the same page. What exactly is MS? The name itself, multiple sclerosis, sounds intimidating, like something from a sci-fi movie. But let's break it down into something less scary. Think of your brain's spinal cord as the body's central command center. They send out electrical messages to every part of you, legs to walk, hands to grip, and your eyes to see. These messages travel along nerve fibers, like tiny electrical wires. To protect these wires and help messages travel fast, they are coated in myelin. Myelin is like the plastic insulation around your phone charger. Use animated diagram. Healthy myelin versus damaged myelin. Now, in MS, the body's immune system gets confused. It's like your internal security team suddenly decides that the myelin insulation is a threat. So it starts to attack and damage it. When myelin is damaged, signals can be slowed down, jumbled up, or even stopped completely. This is what causes the symptoms of MS. The multiple part of the name refers to attacks in many places across the brain and spinal cord. Because attacks can happen anywhere in the central nervous system, symptoms can be wildly different from person to person. Numbness in their hands, tingling in their hands, trouble with balance, trouble with vision. Someone else might feel an overwhelming sense of fatigue that has nothing to do with being tired from a long day. It's this unpredictability that makes MS so tricky. There's no single, one-size-fits-all experience. Your MS is not your friend's MS, and their MS is not what you saw in that one sad movie from the 90s. Understanding this basic mechanism is key to understanding everything else about the disease. It helps you see why symptoms can come and go in what's called relapsing remitting MS, and why they can be so varied. It's not a disease of your muscles or your bones. It's a disease of communication between your brain and your body. And most importantly, it helps you understand how modern treatments work. They are designed to calm down the overactive immune system and stop it from attacking the myelin in the first place. It's about managing the cause, not just chasing the symptoms. By the end, spot myths, see real progress, and feel optimistic. Let's get into it. We will go through the myths one by one, a checklist of nonsense. Okay, let's tackle the big one right out of the gate. The myth that a diagnosis of MS is an automatic, non-negotiable ticket to a wheelchair. This is probably the most pervasive and fear-inducing lie out there, and it is flat out wrong. Let me say it again for the people in the back. Most people with MS will not need to use a wheelchair full-time. The image of MS being synonymous with permanent disability is horribly outdated, like a flip phone or dial-up internet. It simply does not reflect the reality for the vast majority of people living with the disease today. Here's the simple truth with a clear fact to back it up. Thanks to incredible advances in medical treatments over the past 2 decades, the progression of MS can be significantly slowed down. These treatments, known as disease-modifying therapies, are designed to reduce the number and severity of relapses, which in turn helps prevent the accumulation of disability. The statistics are clear. Today, about 2/3 of people with MS remain able to walk without assistance. While some people may need a cane, walker, or other mobility aid at some point, the idea of a universal, inevitable decline into a wheelchair is pure fiction. Now, let's be real. Some people with MS do use wheelchairs, either some of the time or all of the time. But here's the important reframe. A wheelchair is not a symbol of defeat. It is a tool for freedom. It's a piece of technology that allows someone to conserve energy, participate in activities they love, and navigate the world with more ease and independence. It's not a prison, it's a passport. The real story is that people with MS are using every tool at their disposal, advanced medications, physical therapy, mobility aids, to live their best lives. So, the next time you hear someone equate MS with a wheelchair, you can gently but firmly correct them. You can tell them that the outlook for people with MS is brighter than ever before. You can explain that modern medicine has changed the game and that most people continue to walk, work, and live actively for many, many years after their diagnosis. This isn't about toxic positivity or ignoring the challenges. It's about replacing a terrifying, outdated myth with a hopeful, accurate reality. Drop A in the comments if you're ready to leave this myth in the dust. Plot twist: I can still trip over my own 2 feet without any MS help. Thank you very much. Let's move on to the next piece of fear-mongering, the idea that MS is a death sentence. When people hear chronic, incurable disease, their minds jump to the worst. They picture a rapid decline, a life cut tragically short. But let's take a deep breath and look at the facts. MS is generally not a fatal disease. It's a chronic condition you manage over time, much like diabetes, heart disease. It is not, in most cases, terminal. Here's the simple truth. People with MS live, on average, a near normal lifespan. Research shows life expectancy is only about 5 to 7 years shorter, and that gap is shrinking as treatments improve. This is a world away from the grim prognosis of 50 years ago. Most people with MS will live well into their 60s, 70s, and beyond. They will get to see their kids grow up, complain about their grandkids making a mess, and spend decades enjoying their hobbies, careers, and relationships. Why the dramatic improvement? 2 reasons. First, disease-modifying therapies are now highly effective at slowing progression and preventing severe disability that used to cause major complications. Second, doctors now manage symptoms and complications much better. Issues like infections, heart problems are treated proactively and effectively. It's a holistic approach to long-term health and well-being. So, let's put this myth to bed. An MS diagnosis is not a death sentence. It is a life sentence. Live your life, adapt, manage a new challenge, and keep going. It will change your life, yes, but it does not have to end it. Life with MS is a long and winding road, with time for joy, laughter, and everything in between. Now, who's feeling a little more hopeful? Let me see you in the comments. For a long time, the standard advice given to people with MS was to rest. Rest a lot. Don't overdo it. Fatigue is a major symptom. Heat can make symptoms temporarily worse. A phenomenon called Uthoff's phenomenon explains this. So exercise was labeled the enemy. That turned into a pervasive myth. Exercise is dangerous for MS. But that advice is wrong. The opposite is true. Exercise is one of the most beneficial things for body and mind. It's not a cure, but it's powerful medicine. Regular activity improves muscle strength. It improves balance. It improves coordination. Exercise fights debilitating fatigue. It boosts mood. It boosts cognitive function and fights cog fog. Don't run a marathon tomorrow. The key is the right kind of exercise and listening to your body. Gentle stretching, yoga, tai chi, swimming, water aerobics, recumbent biking, light strength training, going for a walk. Mantra: start low and go slow. The fear of overheating is real but manageable. Air-conditioned spaces, cooling vests or towels, cold water, cooler times of day. Any temp-related symptom flare is temporary. It doesn't mean you're causing more nerve damage. Let's bust this myth. Exercise is an ally. It's empowerment, stronger, more energetic, more in control. For women diagnosed with MS in their childbearing years, the question of family planning can be filled with anxiety, largely fueled by outdated myths about pregnancy. One persistent myth: pregnancy is dangerous, will inevitably make MS worse, or it's irresponsible to consider having children. The good news is, modern science has a much more hopeful story to tell. Here is the simple, wonderful truth. Pregnancy is generally safe for people with MS. In fact, for many, pregnancy can be a period of remission. During the 2nd trimester, during the 3rd trimester, a woman's immune system naturally becomes less active to protect the fetus. For MS, that can mean a significant decrease in relapse rates. Planning is everything. Person with MS, their neurologist, and their obstetrician coordinate. Some DMTs aren't safe in pregnancy or breastfeeding, so plans are made to pause and resume safely. There is an increased relapse risk after birth as the immune system reactivates, but doctors are ready. With careful management, women with MS can and do have healthy pregnancies and healthy babies. This myth is cruel because it's personal. Knowing the facts replaces fear with empowerment. Decisions based on hope and medical reality, not fear and fiction. The myth: so, can I catch it? Or, your mom had MS, so you will too. The reality: not contagious. Family risk slightly elevated, 2 to 4%. Many people with MS have zero family history. Your humor: no, your cousin Kevin won't catch your MS by borrowing your couch. The myth: keto cures MS. The Walls Protocol fixes everything. Eat this berry and your lesions will vanish. The reality: no diet cures MS. Anti-inflammatory, Mediterranean-style eating helps symptoms and fatigue, but it's not magic. Your humor: If kale cured MS, I'd be a superhero by now. Which MS diet trend have you tried? Did it help or was it chaos? Misinformation harms, stigma, anxiety, mistreatments, myths louder than facts. People get hurt. Someone might delay seeing a doctor because they're too scared of what they think a diagnosis means. Another person might stop taking their proven medication to try an unproven and frankly ridiculous internet cure. So our mission today is simple. Turn down the volume on the myths and turn up the volume on the truth. We're going to arm you with the facts so you can face the world with confidence and clarity. First and foremost, modern medicine. The development of disease-modifying therapies has revolutionized MS care. They significantly slow the progression, reduce relapses, and limit new lesions. Getting on the right DMT early protects your future. Alongside DMTs, comprehensive neurorehabilitation, physical therapy, occupational therapy, speech therapy maximizes function. What also helps is community, support groups online or in person, a lifeline to share fears, swap tips, celebrate small victories. Lifestyle matters, balanced anti-inflammatory diet, enough sleep, managing stress, appropriate exercise. It's this combination of effective medical treatment, strong community support, and healthy lifestyle choices that truly helps people live well with MS. We've busted a lot of myths today. We've replaced the scary stories with science-backed facts. We've turned the volume down on the fear and turned it up on the hope. Before you go, which MS misconception have you heard the most? Drop it in the comments so we can bust it together. And if today helped you, hit like, subscribe, and turn on notifications because MS is confusing enough without missing the videos that make it make sense.